All right, it's party time, Mom. It's Monday. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. The weekend, what a weekend. The weekend started for me like on Wednesday, Sarah.
Yeah.
And woo.
I can imagine a lot can happen in a weekend when your weekend starts on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's like a little nursery rhyme right there. A lot can happen on a weekend when your weekend starts on Wednesday. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Puppet Master Mark, he's back. He's better. Still sounds like garbage, but he's better. He doesn't say anything anyway. Yeah. Of course, Super Chris Cruz and Let's Love Brandon. I want to talk about a couple of things before we get into other things that matter. First of all, this is what I was telling somebody this week. I'm going to go somewhere with this, but let me just tell you a business principle, folks. Work for yourself, okay? Stop giving away what you do to other people who don't value it. Mm-hmm. So I have a ton of people who come at me. They want me to help them promote their business, right? Yeah. And tell them how to do it and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, nope, not doing that anymore. Not doing that anymore. Like, I'll be your friend. And they get pissed off when you're like, no, I don't have time to go for this or that or a drink or coffee or dinner. Or I don't have time for that because I've done it so many times. I know that I'm going to tell you what you need to do and you're not going to do it anyway. Yep. And I'm not going to get any benefit out of it anyway. Yep. So I made a decision like this past week. I was like, I'm already running my businesses. And all these people that come in that ultimately, and this sounds bad, this will piss some people off if they start using you. Mm-hmm. They start using 100%. You, right? You have businesses, I have businesses, and I'm just like, I'm done with all that stuff because I have wasted so much time trying to give people business advice on all these different things, and they're like, they don't do them. No. Or they think that you're their marketing plan. Yeah. Right? I'm supposed to give you window space on my social media or this television show or podcast or whatever.
That's how they're going to strike it big.
And they're like, hey, I finally got Chad to agree to... No. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So I made a personal commitment to myself to focus on my businesses. Right. My stuff. I'm an entrepreneur, so the stuff that I do myself. Because another thing that pisses me off, nobody hustles like I hustle.
Except me.
You hustle.
I would say. Because it's so hard to find someone who is ready to actually hustle. Everyone wants something handed to them. They want to pick the low-hanging fruit.
They want to get on another Zoom call.
Yes.
Or another phone call.
Yes.
Stop it with these. If you're in business, you don't have time to do that. If you're successful, you do not have time to hop on another call. No. Hey, can we hop on a call? No. Send me a text message of what you want, and let's move on with our day. Yeah. The chit-chat stuff, that ain't how you do business. Exactly. It's just not. Yep. Stop doing it. If you're in business for yourself, you don't have time to do that.
They need to meet so that they can talk about their next meeting and what they're going to plan.
Yeah, no, and you know what? We're going to put together an email and we'll follow up with you. You know, I wanted you to meet the team, and then now that you've met the team, hi. Yeah. Now what?
I had so when I was planning, you know, to try to infiltrate one of the drag show events, and I had someone who was like that. They were like, "Well, can we get on a Zoom call?" And I was like, No. I told you what the deal is. No. If you want to do it, join. If you don't, no, then don't. Yeah. We're not getting on a Zoom call to discuss.
See, here's what happens. People say, well, why can't you just jump on a Zoom call? Okay, so first of all, I do TV hits all day long. Yep. I do radio hits all day long. I mean, my day starts early calling in morning radio stations and things like that. So when you want to schedule a Zoom call, it's on the calendar. And now I got to prepare. I got to make sure I am somewhere that has a Wi-Fi or whatever 30 minutes before that call, and I'm set up. The lights are right. The whole deal is set up. And so I spend my day anticipating your call to get to it. Now, maybe that's just me, but that is how I do. Yeah. Because I want, if I'm meeting with you, I expect that you're bringing some substance to me, and I want to be prepared for this. Okay?
Well, come on. You just want to look good. You just said you got to have the right lighting.
Girl,
you
look at this right here.
Connection.
Well, the lighting involves me turning on a ring light, right?
But I want to be in the room. But you do use the ring light.
I do use the ring light.
Because you got to make sure if you're on video, you got to look good.
Well, if you're doing a podcast or somebody else's show, I do a lot of that, right?
Well,
it consumes your day. It really does.
Well, and that's why it's very hard for me to do stuff from home after hours as well. Because I'm like, I gotta listen. When I get home, my hair goes up in a bun.
And I know a lot of people who listen or watch this show. You don't have to worry about doing somebody else's podcast or TV shows or news hits or anything like that. That's a me problem. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you are in business, and a lot of you are, you don't have time to keep jumping on a call.
No.
Hey, you got time to jump on a call?
No.
I don't.
Just act. Just execute things.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Don't talk about it. Just go do it. Yeah. Be a grifter like us.
And you know, yeah, be a grifter.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that too, because that's where I'm going. And I'm generous to a fault. Everybody knows that.
Yes, you are.
I'm generous. I'm way too generous with my time.
Way too generous.
And so people are like, oh, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. I had a conversation with somebody significant to me this weekend, and I said, I'm done with it. Done.
Good.
Done. Because they're like, they start blaming you.
Yep.
That's what happens. They blame you. If it doesn't go the way they think it's supposed to go business-wise because you promoted their deal, and now they're not getting their sales or their promotion or whatever they thought they were going to get out of it. See, I know a lot of social media influencers who go into business with these big companies, and they say, oh, I promise you I'm going to have this many impressions every month, and you're going to pay me X number of dollars. And it's like, no. That's why I've never taken money from anybody up front, because I can't promise you that. I have no idea. I might get banned from Facebook for 30 days.
Right.
Then what do I owe you now?
Right.
So I don't do it. Never have. Never have.
You.
So I'm just saying, if you want to be in business, if you want to be successful, you got to take ownership in you.
Yes.
Own your shit. Own your shit. And don't worry about owning anybody else's shit, because that's their shit. Again, I go back to it. Your stuff is stuff. Their shit is shit. You got to own your stuff, or your stuff will turn to shit.
Yeah.
You do.
I agree.
God, I'm busy. But I love it. I don't do a single thing I don't have fun doing. A single thing. And one of the things I enjoy doing is tequila. So I'm going to pour some of that right here.
We do have that in common,
We do, don't we? We love it. I had too much of it. You want some?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a monkey fling shit. Cheers. Okay, we got to do that. Yeah. So the other thing is, you're a grifter, I'm a grifter.
Yeah.
It's what we do. We're conservatives. We created cancel culture. I was told that. Republicans created cancel culture. I was just told that on Twitter earlier.
Did they give any explanation of what they... Oh, okay.
No. Well, we got accused of the whole Ulta thing. So Ulta comes out with this ad where the transgender is talking to the transgender activist. I don't understand what these people do, or I don't know why
both men wearing wigs. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
One of them had facial hair and they both looked ridiculous, but...
Well, I get that selling makeup, like not all women use makeup. There's a lot of women who don't use makeup.
And they shouldn't feel like they have to.
But all transgender men do. They must.
They have to, right.
They must. So I get the marketing strategy here. We're going to market to people who must have makeup. All right?
Okay.
So, next it'll be the drag queens or something. They've probably already done that. I don't know. So Ulta comes out with this whole thing, and in it, and this is that TikTok influencer. I don't know their name. It's the one, we're going to show it here in a second. It's the one that Alex Stein totally trolled.
Oh my God, that was so good. I forgot he did that.
Right? And he sent a... Well, he's the one...
No, but he sent a cameo to Alex.
But we've done it, like we've made fun of this human in our own way.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
It's a dude.
It's a human.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
Say it with us now, Chris. It's a dude.
Okay.
It's a dude.
You said it's a dude, but is it really a dude? Because the dude is weird. I don't
The
want to
dude
put
has the dude has a dick. It's a dude.
I don't want to put him in my boat, so I just put human.
Yeah, he's one of those at the food court. Whatever. Is another species.
Whatever. Oh, well, wait. We saw that TikTok where you're allowed to call them it now.
Yes.
That's true. You're allowed to say it.
So it.
There are people out there who identify as it. It. Okay. So he is... Anyway, Alex trolled him. He sent the cameo back to Alex and the whole thing. Oh, girl, whatever. So Ulta does this whole thing, and all right, I get it. You're a private company. You can market however you want to market.
Sure can.
My thing is when you start saying, oh, and I want to be a mother, and I want, and after a while, I'm like, okay, at some point in time, who's going to speak up for women, actual women, and say, why do y'all hate women so much? Why are you trying to erase women? Because that's the way I look at this.
It absolutely is.
I've gotten so bold as to just say, you're erasing women.
Absolutely.
Women are insignificant to culture anymore because if you don't need women to have a baby.
Yeah, women are not unique.
Right.
At all. You don't need women to have a baby.
If femininity is boiled down to, if womanhood is boiled down to the makeup you wear or the breasts on your chest or your genitals or whatever, then that's farcical to me, right? That's a travesty. So I made the comment. I shared the shit out of it about this whole Ulta thing, and I was like, you need to go get your makeup from, American Beauty by Sarah.com. So you want to go buy makeup? Buy it from Sarah.
It's literally why I created the company.
So yeah, exactly.
Literally why I created the company.
So people called us, we're grifters, because God forbid you're in business for yourself.
Right. Right. It's always grifting. Everything we do is grifting.
At this stage, I don't even know what grifting is. I don't know.
It's capitalism, basically.
To me, to them, capitalism is grifting.
Right.
Free market economy is grifting. So what I've always understood grifting to mean is I am not something, but I'll pretend to be something in order to make money off of the people who believe in that something.
Correct.
All right. So, but I'm a conservative. I run a conservative-run business. I have conservative convictions. I run a business that is consistent with my on the record for a long, long time convictions. I don't think that's grifting. That's just running a business. Yeah. But that's what they're going to call you because, again, that's their whole thing.
Right.
They've got to call you a name.
Well, they also don't understand what cancel culture is.
Right. And that's the other thing is they say we're trying to cancel Ulta.
It's like, no, they're allowed to be in business. We're not trying to tell them they're not allowed to be in business.
We're not standing outside of their building.
No.
Shutting it down, blockading it.
It's how everyone lives, right? You try to support companies that align with your values.
Yeah.
That's not cancel culture at all.
So we've not asked social media to take Ulta down.
No, they have a right to exist.
And the other pissy thing that they did was they started blocking any comments that were contrary.
Yeah, they finally decided they got torn up in the comments. So they just decided to, first they were hiding replies, and then they turned off the ability for anyone to respond unless Ulta followed them.
Yeah.
Which is so, it was like, oh, this didn't go the way you thought it was going to go, did it?
Yeah.
That's adorable that you thought that women would just be like, oh, cool, that's great. Yeah. No, showcase a bunch of dudes dressed up as us, appropriating
talking about being a mother.
Talking about the thing that makes women the most unique, motherhood. Mm-hmm. I'm glad
Somebody
that
says,
they
we
got
don't
the
understand
backlash.
why this bothers you. I don't understand why this doesn't bother you.
Right.
I mean, if you don't stand for anything, I mean, like, it doesn't matter what you say. Twitter's not real life, but no matter what you say in defense of something, well, then that means you're anti something else, right?
Right.
No, I don't care if you wear a dress.
Right.
I mean, go to the show, man. I don't care what you do, but at some point in time, can we not speak out for real women and say, this is an insult?
Yeah, they call it trans hate, right? And so I had someone who, of course, I'm a grifter now for telling everyone, hey, conservatives, if you're tired of this, or even if you're not conservative and you just actually think that men are men and women are unique and should be, that should be embraced. I have a company that you can spend your dollars at. And someone said, oh, well, it's probably made in China. Nope, actually, all of our products are made in America. And I try very hard to keep it that way. I don't know if that will stay that way in the future, but right now, everything's made in America. And so someone screenshotted that it said cruelty-free. And they said, oh, it's cruelty-free. And another person commented and said, but they're cruel. It's cruel to trans people. It's not cruel to say, I don't agree that you can be a woman. That's not cruel. It's just a fact.
I spoke to a group Saturday night, and at that group, I don't know how I get into these topics. This was a rodeo exposition with a bunch of board members who are big supporters of this huge exposition that promotes the next generation of Western lifestyle and livestock and all this kind of stuff.
Naturally trans.
But yeah, of course. But of course that topic's going to come up, right? I was just talking about how we're leading a whole generation astray with ideologies that are a house of cards that are going to fall in on themselves.
Yeah.
And at what point in time do we stand up and say, no, we got to quit celebrating stuff that is mental illness that is parading itself around as normalcy and say, no, we got to stop this kind of stuff. We got to stop this kind of stuff because, again, you're always going to have the fringe among you that believe weird things and behave in weird ways. But that doesn't mean we normalize that and promote it to the point of saying, hey, this is the way it ought to be.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, it's very smart of them, though, to try the label of if you don't agree with them, you are a phobic, right? Like if you don't agree that they can be women, you're transphobic. If you don't agree that gay people should be able to get married, you're homophobic, right? And it's like it's very strategic how they've done it, is that now you're anti this or you have a phobia about it, rather than just saying, oh, we just agreed, we don't agree on things. Yeah. We just believe differently, and that's okay.
I've gotten 3 emails from 3 different gay people in the last hour that I do business with and have for years. I'm not afraid of them.
Yeah, right.
I don't panic when I see their name in my inbox.
Right.
If they were in something else, I'd be.
And they're not afraid of you?
Not at all.
Wow.
Not at all. In fact, we butt heads every now and then.
They must be self-loathing.
Hey.
They must be self-loathing gays.
They hate themselves. There's more to say about this. Charging higher interest is how banks make more money. They take a lot more of your hard-earned money if your credit score is just okay but not great. That's a shame, but you can do something about it. ScoreMaster is the new science in accelerating credit scores. Put you in control of your money, not the bank. Say your credit score is 700 and you're borrowing 500 grand to refinance your home. If you start ScoreMaster, they could save you over 75 grand over the life of your loan. That's $75,000. That's your money. It doesn't belong to the bank. It's yours. That's the genius behind ScoreMaster's 3-week rule, especially now with the soaring interest rates. No matter your credit score, before you apply for any loan, auto lease, or credit, start at ScoreMaster. It only takes a minute to get started. You can add 60 to 100 points in about 3 weeks. Life's got enough regrets, folks. Don't add paying higher interest rates to the list. Visit scoremaster.com/Chad. You'll get a special 7-day trial. Again, your special 7-day trial is waiting at scoremaster.com/Chad. We'll be right back.
Now I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I can have a family. I want to be a mom one day.
No.
And I absolutely can. And that's why the narrative still has a long way to go, because when I was grieving Boy Dylan, I didn't know those things were even accessible to me.
Oh, there you go. Sarah?
It is so infuriating.
And again, the thing that the progressives, the lefties, the lunatics, whatever, the Riris, that they don't understand is, I don't care how you live your life. I don't care how you live your life. But when corporate America starts promoting this and normalizing this, it marginalizes women.
Yes, extremely.
This is a perfect example. It marginalizes, and again, we talk about this on the show nonstop, subverting the dominant paradigm. So womanhood, by and large, has to be eradicated because that's the dominant paradigm. We talk about now, now they're talking about Hispanics are the new white hate. We've had that deal.
Yes, yeah.
Because again, we've marginalized we've subverted the dominant paradigm of the white race so much. Now we've got to start adding in the Hispanics too. That's a pretty large demographic. So, this whole thing. At what point do you just say, no, this is dumb?
You would hope that it would be now.
We do, and we call it out.
We do, but I mean, where the hell are the rest of the women? Where are the women on the left? You would hope that this is something that we could agree on.
Somebody comments on the thing. It says bigot, and I go woman hater.
Right. I mean,
if we're gonna do that,
listen, they throw their arms up if someone a long time ago dressed up in blackface.
Yeah,
it's cultural appropriation, right? How is this not appropriating an entire gender?
So Carrie Lake is running for governor in Arizona. She's up against Katie Hobbs. They've now uncovered through yearbooks and all this kind of stuff that when she was in high school, Katie Hobbs put together her little spirit week and they had a mock slave auction.
Ugh.
I know. Well, it wasn't necessarily selling blacks or minorities, but it was just they were doing it with freshmen.
Right.
But still, the fact that they were doing so now everybody's up in arms because they're trying to make this a thing. I have a problem with you trying to make that a thing. Yeah. Tacky, of course it is.
Yeah, gross.
But you're talking about high school kids who.
High school kids are allowed some grace with being tacky.
Yeah, they weren't selling black slaves in chains to work on a cotton farm or a plantation. They were using freshmen to do your, carry your books for you, that kind of thing. Go get your lunch.
Yeah. Hazing.
People do dumb shit when they're in high school. I get that. But she did that. But again, they're up in arms over that. Right. So if you're going to be pissed off about that, then like you said to the blackface thing, where's the deal? Where's the Me Too movement?
Great question.
The Me Too movement was specifically started to protect black and brown women who had been victims of violence. All right. If you go back 2006, it's founded by a black woman. And, you're talking about women who are marginalized because they're minorities, but they've also been victims of violence, sexual assault, rape, and it's protected them. So everybody comes out and everybody has their Me Too thing, right? That was the opportunity. You walk down the street with your hat on your head, your fist in the air, your posters. You hate Donald Trump, grab him by the booty poo. You hate all of that. And everybody's had their Matt Lauer moment. But now where's that at? Now women are completely eradicated. And I made the point there Saturday night too. I said, all that went away as soon as they named Caitlyn Jenner Woman of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
it got buried.
It's not even just the Me Too movement, but it's so many women who complain about the patriarchy. We have to smash the patriarchy. It wouldn't even necessarily have to be about sexual harassment or sexual assault or anything. It's just we got to smash the patriarchy. Republicans have a war on women. All of these things. It's like, what is a better example of the patriarchy than men literally appropriating us as women and profiting off of it?
Yeah.
It blows my mind that they sat there and complained for so long. Oh, these white men and the patriarchy and all of this. It's the white men that are dressing up and stealing your opportunities.
And here's the deal. Men don't understand women at all.
No.
The idea that you think you can be one?
Yeah.
You're out of your freaking mind.
I still
I don't have a clue what women are all about.
I still want to know what that dude thinks that, like, what did he mean by I want to be a mother someday? I really would like to know. Like,
he's gonna put one of them butt babies up there. probably got a gerbil in there now. I mean, that's 100. I mean, first of all, that's a very skinny man.
Yeah.
There's a health thing going on there.
Maybe it's never mind.
That's anorexia.
That's what I was gonna say. Anorexia.
Anorexia or something else that starts with A. Some Dallas Buyers Club going on there, you think?
I don't know. It looks like it.
Yeah, it ain't good.
No.
I feel sorry for that person, though. Yes.
I do, too, because society, instead of giving this guy help, society has enabled his mental illness.
Normalized it.
Completely normalized it and enabled him. And now, he's going to find, I mean, I hope that he doesn't end up being a statistic, but many of them do.
This is a person who has looked for love.
Yes.
In all the wrong places.
Yes. Yes.
Looking for affirmation.
Yes.
And now you have a company like Ulta, who's a multinational corporation, multinational brand, who's going to come out and who represents a ton of big brands. L'Oreal, Revlon, I mean, you name the makeup deals. And they've all done the same things. They're utilizing this person. They're the grifters.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
A company that has built itself into billions of dollars of net worth, marketing to real women, is now going to grift the transgender community in order to market to that.
Yep.
They don't believe in that.
Nope.
They don't believe in that. That's not. They didn't build their business on transgender. And if they did, I tell you what, do just from now on.
Right.
Just let the transgender community give them their business.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Problem solved. You want the 1% of the 1%? That's your market.
It just blows my mind, Chad, because it's like this isn't something that you have to do, right? And you could just be quiet about it. Just imagine you just don't enter the conversation, right? Like you continue promoting your beauty products, you continue promoting women, and you just don't say anything. You don't take a stance. But every company now feels like they have to take a strong stance, and it's like, just shut up. Just don't say anything.
Yeah.
I know it is. It's ESG, and it's
ESG.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out for you.
Well, make sure it's on so people can hear what you're saying.
It's ESG.
It's every company right now is doing the ESG.
That's what they're trying to do.
It is.
We have to give our take on it because we do not want to get canceled by the overlords on the top.
They have to be on record.
They have to be on the record because once ESG happens, they're going to be like, hey, we were on the record that this Mulani person, that's a girl. I got you. We did it.
Well, guess what? You said when it actually happens. It doesn't have to happen if enough people would have the balls to stand up and say, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, you have to laugh.
I mean, it is. You have to laugh so you don't cry. Case in point with the ESG stuff, Coca-Cola came out, this was a while back, and they made some big statement about diversity and inclusion, and they're only going to work with, certain companies that have 50% or more of, diverse people. And it's like, no joke. I read this and I'm like, I bet this is run by a bunch of white men. You go to their website and look at their board, and it's literally all white men.
Yeah.
They don't believe this.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. It's like, you guys do not believe this.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, can we play the Biden clip of him eating ice cream?
Oh, God.
I know everybody's seen it to death, but the one where he's eating ice cream, he says the economy's strong. Play it real quick. Real quick.
Oh, God.
Look at him.
Oh, God.
Our economy is strong as hell. The internal inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States. So the problem is the lack of economic growth and sound policy in other countries, not so much ours. And that's how it's worldwide inflation.
Well, okay. Just a quick take on that. Look at that picture right there. Just a quick take. Couple things. Leave that picture up. First of all, he's not the president of the world, and so he's not responsible for the worldwide economy. It's the United States. And the other thing is, people don't walk around. Grown men don't walk around eating ice cream cones all the time.
No, it's the weirdest thing. It is the weirdest thing.
But we've gone over this because, again, he's got dementia. They have to keep giving him ice cream because if you go to the Alzheimer's website, they talk about ice cream being a therapy.
No.
Yeah. You not seen this?
I haven't seen that.
There's a whole page dedicated to it about how ice cream keeps them in the moment when they're out in public. Because the cold in the mouth stimulates. So if you have Alzheimer's or you've got cognitive decline, they give you ice cream as therapy because it keeps you in the moment when people are talking to you.
Oh, my God.
It's literally on the alz.org.
That is so... It makes so much sense.
Doesn't it, though?
Wow.
So it ain't so weird when you realize you're dealing with an Alzheimer's patient who thinks he's president of the freaking world.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of rereads, when it comes to the liberals in Congress, man, I miss liberals. It's the lunatics now.
No kidding.
The folks on the left in Congress, they would never accept term limits on themselves, but that's what they're doing. They're fighting tooth and nail to impose term limits on Supreme Court justices. Term limits for thee, but not for me, right? It's completely hypocritical, but that's never been a problem for the left. They do whatever it takes to seize more power, even if it means purging the Supreme Court of its most experienced justices. To no one's surprise, their new court purging scheme would remove the long-serving justices, the conservatives like Clarence Thomas, Sam Alito. Then they would be replaced with new justices who would rubber stamp their radical agenda. So since Democrats are working hard to pass court purging with term limits, we need to work even harder to stop it. Or the Supreme Court, as we know it, will never be the same. So if you care about the integrity of the Supreme Court and don't want to see it taken over by political hacks, visit supremecoup.com and sign up. Join us. supremecoup.com. C-O-U-P. supremecoup.com. We'll be right back. All right, while we're on a roll, let's see if I can wax eloquent for just a minute. Folks, occasionally upon the etched face of our collective history, there comes along a person, a visionary, if you will, who sees the events of the past in a new light and proffers an explosively fresh perspective on events that have unfolded before the world's eyes. I want to submit to you that I, Chad Prather, know the real reason that the ancient Egyptian empire, which stood as a singular world power for thousands of years, ultimately collapsed into the dust of the North African deserts. Many historians down through the years have claimed that it was drought, wars, disease, starvation, and all of them are wrong. I say it was emojis. Because you realize, of course, that the modern-day emoji is basically an analog of the ancient hieroglyphic language in which the Egyptians wrote. You understand that, right? And as mind-numbingly stupid as our modern-day reactions to emojis turn out to be, it must be the case that a similar cancer of the intellect must have washed over the Egyptians. Now, in case you've not been paying attention to what lazy young stupid people are saying lately, and let's be honest, why would you? The latest emoticon to head for the chopping block is the thumbs up symbol. And why, you might ask, why on earth would anyone care enough to even comment on this symbol, let alone go through the necessary mental gymnastics to be offended by it? And furthermore, how could something which is universally recognized as a positive symbol be construed as something negative? These are the things which you do not have the time in your busy day to give a shit about, and which I, your faithful servant, will wade through the sewers of intellectual detritus to bring before you fully examined. But listen to some of the things young people are saying on Reddit about the thumbs up emoji. One young buck said he was not adult enough to be comfortable with the thumbs up emoji reaction. Another whippersnapper said for younger people, the thumbs up emoji is used to be really passive aggressive. It's super rude if someone just sends you a thumbs up. So I also had a weird time adjusting because my workplace is the same. Yeah, that's an actual quote. These are things that human beings who presumably have at least high school diplomas are letting fall out of their face holes. Now, folks, I don't want to over-romanticize the off-sided greatest generation too much here. I don't want to point out ad nauseum that there are still living examples of human beings who stormed beaches and braved booby-trapped jungles, also twerps to dake and whine and cry on the internet about how passive-aggressive they find a cartoon picture of a thumb. Now, I don't want to suggest that there's very little I'd love to see more than some hard-bitten, grizzled veteran of literally any war walk up to one of these over-emotional pukes, put a cigarette in his or her pimple-strewn forehead, and then tell them it's time to get up and change their own damn diapers and get on with life. Seriously, do you know what's wrong with these stupid, dumb children? They don't have anything better to do. That's the problem. Apparently, they go to work at jobs so uninteresting and dull, so devoid of any meaningful work for them to do, that they have time to look at the way someone reacts to them in a text format and find a way to get offended at something that has probably never once in the history of the world been used offensively. Passive-aggressively? Maybe. But offensively? Get bent. Listen, you arrogant, irritating little meatheads. You want an emoji to get offended at? You want a digital display to get your panties in a bunch over? Use that one right there. How's that?
The amount of screenshots we could have of you giving the camera the bird is just, it's tremendous.
It is.
To be fair, my husband does know that he's in big trouble if I respond with the thumbs up. He's like, oh, crap.
You know, I've always said the thumbs up is not it's like, it's a very lazy way to respond to somebody.
Yeah.
Like even now they make it easy. You can give the exclamation points or the hearts. I always try to give a heart to let you know I at least care about what the hell you said.
Right.
Whether I do or not.
Yeah.
I've also always hated when people respond with K, Chris.
Hey, speaking of that.
What's worse is KK.
KK.
They do it
Speaking
twice.
of that,
why?
Here's the full list of what they're trying to cancel, Chad. The heart emoji, the okay's hand, the check mark, the poo, the crying laughing face, the monkey covering the eyes, the clapping, the lipstick kiss mark, and the grimacing face.
I'm very confused now.
No middle finger?
I understand the okay.
The poop emoji?
And I understand the thumbs up.
Chris said the poop emoji?
Poor Chris.
Okay. Well, you know who is a real woman and who's a real thumbs up human being?
Me?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh.
Nancy Pelosi. Oh yeah. She wanted to punch the president. On January 6th, apparently she had her daughter's little, her daughter was following her around with her little docudrama camera thing while they counted the election. And why would they have that there? And Nancy found herself in the office there, and the subject of Donald Trump came up. This was January 6th.
Okay.
And we have the clip. Play it.
Secret Service said they have dissuaded him from coming to Capitol Hill. They told him they don't have the resources to protect him here. So at the moment he is not coming, but that could change.
Oh, he comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is
Oh,
my
wow,
moment.
I would pay to see
I've
that.
been waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy.
Secret Service said they have dissuaded him from coming to Capitol Hill. They told him they don't have the resources to protect him here. So at the moment he is not coming, but that could change.
Oh, he comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is
Oh,
my
wow, I
moment.
would pay to see
I've been
that.
waiting for this, for trespassing on the
This is my
Capitol grounds.
moment.
I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy.
All right. This is my moment.
There's so much to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack there. in the next segment, we have a special guest that's going to be with us.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Nancy herself.
Really?
We're going to have Nancy.
How did you score that?
We're going to find out from Nancy what the hell she was talking about. Because she was visibly shaking.
She was.
This was her moment in history. She was going to punch him out. I was going to punch him out.
Literally said, "This is my moment."
She was
with
ready
her mask pulled down.
She was ready to throw old lady hands.
In the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Her mask is pulled down, so it's a very important moment for her.
Yeah.
Her daughter's there.
Yeah.
Filming. Just happens to be filming that day.
Yeah, and her chief of staff is telling her they've dissuaded him because they don't have the Secret Service. What do they need the Secret Service for? To protect Donald from Nancy?
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's almost like she had some advance notice that something was going to pop off.
Knew something was going to happen at the Capitol. It's kind of weird, speculative.
Really weird.
This is a very provocative video.
I wonder if she knows who Ray Epps is.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
We're going to find out.
I can't believe she agreed to do this.
She's going to do it.
Wow.
And we're going to talk to Nancy when we come back on this. I'm glad she's here because I may punch her out.
Well, you definitely go to jail for
I'll
that.
go to jail and I'll be happy. Okay. But the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, at least the Speaker of the House for now, we'll see what happens at the election when the elections happen here in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, wow, that would be so beautiful.
We'll see what happens.
Send her packing.
Friends, are you listening to what the farmers are saying? They're warning everybody about widespread food shortages ahead. And are you ready for that? I mean, are you? If not, go to preparewithchad.com right now. You'll get a 20% discount on just the incredible 3-month emergency food kits from the preparedness experts at My Patriot Supply. And when I say incredible, it is. It's good food. And it's just a smart way to go for your family. Emergency food is not because you're paranoid. It's because you're prudent and prepared. My Patriot Supply is currently offering a generous 20% discount on their popular 3-month emergency food kit. The kit's going to give you a wide variety of breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, snacks. You're going to get 2,000 calories a day. Going to feed a person for 3 solid months. I want you to go to preparewithchad.com right now. Grab your 20% savings off each 3-month kit you need. It's the affordable way to prepare for the worst thing that could possibly happen. And if the day comes that you need this food, it's going to be worth far more than what you paid for it. Much more. Preparewithchad.com. If you have not done this, please go do it today. Preparewithchad.com, and we'll be right back with Nancy Pelosi. All right, folks, right off of Smirnoff 1, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Hello.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
I want to talk to you about this controversial documentary video that came out about, are you with me? What time did you start drinking today, first of all?
Oh, what time is it?
It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30.
It was about 12 hours ago.
So you never really went to sleep, did you?
No.
So this clip comes out where you were going to punch President Trump if he had come to the Capitol on January 6th.
Yes.
And you said this was your moment.
It was my moment.
Yeah?
It was my moment.
Do you think that you could have knocked him out? You said you were going to punch him right out.
I would have, Chad. I would have punched him right out in the face.
Yeah.
In his orange face.
Yeah, and you would have probably gotten maybe some spray tan on your knuckles.
You know what? I would have been happy about it.
But do you not feel awkward that now this is coming out and maybe there's some accusation that people were accusing you of having known about? That's a big swig there, Madam Speaker. That's a lot of guzzling going on there. And you've been.
Do you not drink?
I cheers.
Just cheers.
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 Yeah, that's some serious stuff you got going there. Do you have a response though? The accusation is that you probably knew that the events of January 6th and the quote unquote storming of the Capitol could have happened. It may have even been on your watch. It could have been your fault.
Huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Have you heard people talk about this?
I've never heard anything about
Yeah,
that.
I think that there's a lot of people, maybe half the country, believe that you orchestrated the whole thing.
I just didn't realize that this was going to be what you were going to talk to me about.
What did you think we were going to talk about?
That I saved democracy.
Oh, do you feel like you truly saved? Do you feel like?
Listen, Chad. Can I call you Chad?
Sure. Okay. I don't know what else you'd call me.
So he didn't come to the Capitol. It would have been worse. Okay. He didn't come because he knew I would have met him there.
Yeah.
I would have met him there, and I would have put my hands on him, and I would have gone to jail, and I would have been happy about it, and he knew.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure he was afraid. You weren't worried about the Secret Service or any of his security detail?
No, I know them.
Oh.
I know them.
You have it under control.
They work for me.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of somebody named Ray Epps?
I don't know who you're talking about.
You don't know anything about...
I don't know who you're talking about. I've never... Ray who?
Ray Epps. EPPS.
EP.
Yeah, not to be confused with the EPA.
No,
Ray Epps.
I never heard of him.
No. Mm-mm. So you feel completely exonerated of any responsibility for the things that happened on January 6th, the accusation of people changing clothes in the... Madam Speaker, are you with me? You with me? Madam Speaker, hey, woohoo!
What?
Are you with me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Could it be an FBI agents putting on MAGA hats and storming the Capitol that day?
I don't think so. No.
Do you feel like President Joe Biden has the mental acuity to truly be running the country and to be the leader of the free world?
Listen, Mr. Prather. Joe Biden I am so proud that Joe Biden is our president. He is what America needs to build back better, and we have been building back so much better.
Do you ever go get ice cream with the president?
Only Jenny's.
Oh.
It has to be Jenny's ice cream.
Okay, because I've seen your freezer.
I love ice cream so much.
Can we talk a little bit about two things on a personal level? One, your the shot of you on vacation in a swimsuit in Italy.
Did you like that?
Wow.
Did you like that?
It's quite a lot of impressionable things there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I still got it.
You do. You have something.
150 years old, and I still got it, baby.
But I'm thinking that I've seen pictures of you with the late President John F. Kennedy, and you weren't quite stacked in the same manner as you were there in that vacation picture in Italy.
You know, it's called late bloomer. I was just a late bloomer, yes.
So no plastic surgery?
On this face?
No.
On this body?
Really?
Absolutely
wow,
not.
That's you are. It's impressive. I mean, your eyebrows and your cheekbones and all of that.
Listen, I am highly flammable, but I'm not plastic. This is all real, please.
But do you remember when you went and got your hair blown out during COVID? Everybody else was shut down and the pandemic was going on and everybody else was locked down and quarantined. But you, the video footage there in the salon of you going out and getting the blowout, any response to that? I mean, have you ever apologized to the people of America?
For what?
For being out in
wanting
public.
To look good? I won't apologize for that.
You still got it. You still got it.
Still got it.
Why do you think your husband was out drinking in Napa at 2:00 in the morning when he had that accident and was arrested for DUI? What do you think was going on there? Why was he out gallivanting, if you will, in the middle of the night?
I can't comment on that.
Yeah, you're not popping one out of the bra every now and then and let Paul take a pop off of it? I mean, what's the deal? He's obviously taking a pull off of something.
I would listen. It's a stressful time to be married to me, okay? Sometimes you just gotta let men just get it all out. Just get it all out.
Yeah?
And then they come home.
It's never worked for me. I've tried to get it all out.
Do you trade stocks?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So the deal is he makes the money in the stock market. But I mean, I don't know anything about that. I don't have conversations with him about any of it.
Sure.
And then he can do what he wants. And then he comes home to me.
Comes home to you?
Yes.
And you're in D.C., he's in Napa, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all just have a long distance thing.
It's what works for us.
It's what works for you.
Yeah.
Well, the midterms, of course, are coming up. You've had a quite the tenure as the Speaker of the House.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're the
Cheers.
oldest Speaker of the House.
Cheers to that, everyone. Thank you.
You're
Yes.
the oldest Speaker of the House.
Yes. And still.
Got it.
Yeah.
And apparently, based off of what you've told me, you're still getting it.
Hold on. Listen, I don't know much about you, but
Nothing,
I was told
actually.
that you believe my titties are stately.
They're impressive, stately. I'd have to see the whole titty.
Do you?
I'm okay with that. We have a dressing room, and in the name of journalistic objectivity and research, I will look at your titties, Madam Speaker. If
Paul's not the only one. I'm just saying.
If you get sauced
just
enough,
saying.
we are going to do some titty gazing around Blaze TV.
I'll show
Nancy.
you. You
Sometimes
can let me know
I
what
do
you
a pretty good impression of Nancy Pelosi. Does that sound like you any at all?
I speak way more. I speak way more clearly.
I will punch him out.
I would have too.
Yeah?
I would have punched him out
Yeah.
if he would have showed up.
He really
was
brings a
too
visceral
scared.
response out of
Yeah,
you.
he's.
Do
I
you
hate
think
him.
maybe you and Donald Trump could have maybe gotten it on in another life? You know?
I hate him. He's
Yeah?
he's
Maybe
a
back in-
Nazi
maybe-
racist. I hate him.
Really?
I hate him.
Yeah, no little crush.
No,
a little bit.
oh,
You don't want some of that orange man good?
no.
Okay.
I hate him. He's
right.
a stain on our democracy.
Yeah, you'd have punched him out. Well,
I
thank
would
you.
have punched him out.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi, for defending democracy. Cheers. Here's
Thank
to
you.
you. You are indeed you're not only flammable, but you're still hot. I got to admit that.
Thank you. Chad.
Yeah.
You're gonna be around later.
Go back to sleep. All right. 60% of U.S. pork production comes from one company owned by the Chinese, and their hogs are given something called ractopamine, which is banned in 160 countries, including China. I think it might be a Nancy Pelosi, too. Yet you find it in your grocery aisle every day. There's a better way, folks. There's a better way, and I want to tell you about Moink. That's moo plus oink. Moink Box. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pasteurized pork and chicken, and sustainable wild-caught Alaskan salmon straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did, and as a result, Moink meat tastes like it should, because the family farm does it better. The Moink difference is a difference you can taste, and you can feel good knowing that you're helping family farms stay financially independent too. You choose the meat delivered, ribeyes, chicken breast, pork chops, salmon, all of it, folks. Keep America farming. Go to moinkbox.com/Chad right now. You're going to get a free filet mignon with every order for a year. That is moinkbox.com/Chad. Go there today. Be right back. All right, special thanks to our guest, Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of the United States. Wow. WatchChad.com is where all the fun stuff is. Make sure to check it out and subscribe to Blaze. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.